Okay, so here if you want to use TikTok sound and stuff, you can just link your TikTok account with your CapCut, and also you guys can select brand music. So here I already do have a lot of music, and to use any of those, you guys need to make sure that you download. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is how you guys will be able to download those, and you will be able to use those as well. Okay, so you can just increase or decrease the size over here accordingly. And also under text, you do have this default text box. Here you do have a lot of text which have effects, different text template. If you want any of your video to have auto caption according to the audio, you guys can do that. Different kind of stickers. Okay, you guys can just search for the niche you're looking for, and also different effects for different purposes. And also here we do have different kind of transition. Okay, and if you do want captions, here you do have the auto captions, auto lyrics. Okay, if you do want to add captions manually, you guys can do that. And here are different filters available, and you can search any filter as you like. And also under adjustment, you guys can just put on an adjustment layer on top of any video, and you guys can apply those adjustment layer or also those presets using your page. Okay, so this was about this interface right over here, and I hope you guys just have got up and basic idea about how it actually works, how the interface looks like, how you're going to start working. Okay, and the very first thing which you need to understand, that if you want to work on with any video which you have imported, just go to that particular video, just check out the preview. Let's say I don't want the whole video, which is around 8 seconds over here. I want only 5 seconds, so I will just trim it down from here, and let me just trim it down till this much. And once I'm done, I can just drag this one into my timeline, and as you guys can see, that particular video is now around 7 seconds and 12 milliseconds. Okay, so I can just drag down my video quite like this as well. Here you guys can see the screen size in 2160. Okay, and under menu here you do have also new options. If you do want to create a new project, you guys can do that. If you want to import one, you guys can do that. And once you are done working with any file, you can export those as well. Under edit, here you do have different shortcuts. If you do want to undo any action, you guys can use this. If you want to copy, cut, or delete, there is this options. And under layout, you can have your layout in different options. Let's say if I just change it to media, this is how it will look. Okay, and if I just go to vertical, this is how the vertical uh layout will look like. And over here you do have the attributes. This is how the attributes basically looks like. Okay, so you guys can use it according to yourself. Okay, so whichever you like, just make sure to apply those accordingly. And once your video is over here on the timeline, on the right hand side, you guys can see all the editing options related to your video is available on the right hand side. Okay, so here you guys can see the option of video editing. If you do want to manipulate the speed, if you do want any kind of animation, or you don't want to put any adjustment, so all the editing options are summarized into 4 different bullet points over here. And under these 4 points you do have vast description. Okay, see, under animation you do have in, out, and combo. Under adjustment you do have the color adjustment or the color grading, about which we guys are going to talk in detail. And also if you do want to import it anything, just right click. Otherwise make sure that you come here, right click, and let's create a new folder, and let's rename this one as videos. So I'll just save this one as videos. Let's come here. Let's drag all of this inside the file. You guys can store all your imported videos in one particular file. Let's say you're working for a company and you do have other work as well, but that is a different project, so you guys can just create different folders or make different, like, create different folders for different projects, what all videos, so you can segregate those properly and it won't look messy as well inside your workspace. Okay, so that is quite important. But yeah, I hope you guys do have understood about the interface and the workspace in which we guys are going to work. And if you don't want to save this particular file, just make sure to click on Control S, okay? And it will basically be saved in your recent work option, okay? And if you do want to export it, you guys can export it as a video as well. Okay, so I hope to see you all in the next chapter where we're gonna learn more about advanced CapCut features. So see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of the advanced CapCut tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 3, where I'll be showing you guys about making a pop-up video effect. Okay, so we will see that how you can make a pop-up video effect in CapCut. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So basically over here on my screen, as you guys can see, now I'm here in the home page of CapCut. So well, if you want to create up a new project, let's click on create project and it will just move me directly into the workspace and the interface in which we guys gonna work. So this is basically the workspace and the interface in which I'm going to work. And the next thing is that you guys can come here and you guys can now import your videos and the audios that you guys are going to work with. Okay. And under stock materials, you guys can also see that there are videos which you guys can actually use. Otherwise, here there will be a lot of options. Okay. You guys can use all of these videos. If you want to search for any videos by name or any photos by name, you guys can also do that. So we are going to look at the pop out effect, like how it basically works on. So for that now, as I already do have videos in my resource file, let's click on import. And from here, as you guys can see, I do have a lot of these videos using which I can work on. Okay, so let's come here, and from here now let's take this video and let's take this all these videos over here, and let me just open it up right here as well. Okay, so as you guys can see now, let's take this video first, okay, which is of 37 seconds. But let's say if I don't want 37 seconds of the video, let's say I do want to trim it. So you guys can trim it right over here inside the timeline. But instead, what I'm going to do to save my time is I'm going to come here and I'm going to trim it down from here itself. Okay, so let's decrease 7 seconds from here. And now once I'm done, I can just drag and drop it right over here on my screen. Okay, uh, let's say if you do want to go back, again, you do want to come right over here. Let's click on the plus sign, and this is how it is going to look like. So if you want me to play it, here you guys can see in this particular place, playback media panel, my video is basically being played, and you guys can see the total duration of the video is 20 seconds and 24 frames. Okay, and also at the same time, to make it a bit more interesting, you guys can come here, you guys can go to the audios option, and from the audios option you guys can search for different musics. And if you do want to use different kind of sound effects, you guys can also do that. Okay, otherwise there are different brand music if you have saved in any. There are TikTok sounds as well, so just check it right over here, different type of musics. So you guys can just play it from here. So let's come here, let's play it. So I'll just bring this particular audio and I will just place it right underneath. Okay. And if I don't want the full audio, I'll come here and let's say I will just bring it right over here. And now let's say I am in the end of the video. Okay. So if I just come here, I will just turn on the auto snapping. Okay. So here you do have the turn off auto snapping. Here you do have turn off main track magnet. So I'll just come here, and here you guys can see now you guys can just snap it right at the end. So I'll just keep it right over here, and now I am going to cut. Okay, so if you do want to split here, you do have the split option, and you guys can come here and you guys can basically make a split. Now again, come here, go to select. Let's select this. Let's click on delete. And now you guys can zoom to fit in here in the timeline. Okay, so this is the video which I have over here. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is the video which I have. Now I want to show a pop out effect. So for that, let's go to the import page again. And now I want to show over here that what is the next video that they are going to watch. Okay, so you guys might have seen in so many TV channels or in YouTube as well, that is how it shows. Okay, so I do have this video. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna place this video on top. Okay, so I'm gonna place this particular video over here on top, and now I need to select that which part of the video do I want to show. Okay, so let's come here and let me just come here and let me just place it right over here somewhere. Okay, so I'm gonna place it right over here, and now let's just move it back up. So let me just move this one. So now I have placed it back again over here. Now let's come to this particular video and let me put my cursor over here on top. Okay. So now I will select this top video right over here, and now I am going to scale it down. So you guys can just scale it down from the sides as well. Okay, so let me just place it over here in this particular corner, which is on the right hand side. Okay, so I'm going to put this video on one side, and after that what I'm gonna do is as I do have turned on the snapping, you guys can see like whenever this video will appear, this is how it will show that this video is the next video. Okay, so this is how it will disappear. So now let's place it right here, and now I am going to go to this text option, which I have here on top. So let's click on text, and now I'm going to take a default text box. Otherwise, if you want to get some text template, you guys can also get this text template. Like if you love any of these motions and stuff, you guys can also use those as well. Okay, so let me just go add text. Let's click on add upper text box, and I will just keep this text box with the similar duration of my video. Okay, so let's keep this particular text box over here. And now in this particular text box, I am going to type next. Let's use all caps. Next video. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to change out the font right now. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is the font, which is Abstract Groovy. You guys can use it. And now I need to choose the color as well. Okay, so I can choose any color as I want. Okay, so let's come here. And now let's go for some colors. Let me just try few of it, whatever looks good. Okay, and yellow kind of looks good. And I'm going to put this one just on top over here. And also I'm going to give this one up a background. So to put up a background, or if you do want to decrease the letter spacing, you guys can come here, and that's how it's going to look. Let me just place it somewhere over here. Now let's go down, let's turn on the background, and let me just go with a white background. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with a white background right over here, and let me just skip it. And you guys can see if I do want to change the opacity, I can basically change the opacity. And if you do want some rounded rectangle, okay, you guys can just make it up a rounded rectangle. You guys can just select the height, and also you guys can manage the width. Okay, so let me just bring it down a little bit. Okay, and once this is done, I will just go back. And if you want to put out any animation as well, you guys can also do that. Let's see how it will start on the screen. Or yellow is not looking that great. So in that case, I can just change the color of the text. Let me just go with some dark red color. Okay, so let's see how it looks. Okay, let me just place it right over here. Let's take this video, and from here, if you want to come here, basically if you do want to adjust the video color and stuff, you guys can do that. If you do want to put out animation with that also, I will show you guys how to work on with those things as well. Okay, so as this is done right now, the next thing what I'm gonna do is, let's say the video is starting from here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, now I'm gonna come here, and I am basically going to put out some keyframes. Okay, so you need to know what keyframes are first. Okay, as you guys can see on the right hand side of this control panel, I do have this diamond like icon. So if you do want to add keyframes, you guys can basically do that. So first, let's come here and let's put on keyframes. Let's put one over here. Let me move it. Let's put one over here as well. Okay, so here. And lastly, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put one keyframe right over here. And lastly, I do want to put one keyframe over here as well. Okay, so now let's come, and let me just place, let me put my keyframe over here. And what I'm gonna do is, now I am going to change up the position. Okay, so let's come here, and I'm going to change out the position. And this is how the keyframe will work. And also what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna select this, and over here also I am going to put on the keyframe as well. Okay, so let's come over here. So I'm going to put a keyframe over here, and at this particular point I do want to put on another keyframe. Okay, so I'm going to put another keyframe over here in the position only. And now let's move it maybe till here. Okay, so let me just fix this first. Okay, let's me choose this one. And what I'm gonna do is let's come here. So at this particular point, this will appear right over here. This will come to this point, and let me just come to this last keyframe, which I have over here. And let me just come to this last keyframe. Okay, let me just move it out. Let's come here, and I'm just going to move it down from here as well. Okay, so let me just come here. Otherwise, I do want to move it on the sides. Okay, so let me just clear it off on the sides. So now let's see how it actually looks if I just play it. And yeah, this is how it will just go off. So the same way, let's come here, and now at this particular point, okay, so this frame, at this particular frame, I'm going to add another keyframe. Okay, so let's add another keyframe, and here I am going to put another keyframe as well. So now let's come to the first keyframe right over here, which is that I don't want it on my screen. And the next thing is when you just come right over here, you need to come to this particular position. Now let's come here. And next thing is I want to move it out as well. Okay, so I do want to move it down. And now let's see how it actually looks. So yeah, this is how I do want to do the pop-up effect. And sometimes if you feel that, well, the timing is not that great, and let's say I do want to do a bit of delay over here. So now let's play. So yeah, you guys can actually do things like that. Maybe a delay over here, and maybe I'll just place it right over here a bit. And I'll just check. And yeah, this kind of looks good. So now lastly, once this is done, let me just play up this whole thing. Okay. So you guys can see this video is basically going on over here. And now you guys will see the pop-up effect of the next video. Okay. So you guys can see this is how it will pop up, and the video is moving out and the text as well moved out. Okay, so this is how you guys can actually create a pop-up effect inside CapCut. So yeah, I hope you guys have understood this class, and if you're happy with this kind of video, now let's click on export, and now you can save up the file. Okay, so I will name this one as pop up effect, and let me just export it to my resource file, which I have over here. Large icons. I will just select this particular folder, and I can choose that what is going to be the video resolution. I can choose what is going to be the audio format over here. Okay, so I will just take MP3. And now let's come here if you do want to check copyright of this one. So here you guys can just check the copyright option as well. Okay, so once you're done, you guys can see the rate is 60 fps, which is frames per second. Format is mp4, codec is h.264, bitrate is recommended. Now let's click on export, and you guys can see the duration is 21 seconds and the file size is about 31 MB. And if you do want to change out the cover of this particular video as well, you guys can also change out the cover. If you do want to edit it here, you will have a cover design option in which we have a different class itself. Okay, like how to work on designing the cover. So I will just exit from here, and now let's export it. And I hope to see you all in the next chapter where we're gonna learn more about CapCut itself. So see you all. Till then, take care and goodbye, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of the Advanced CapCut tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 4, where I'll be showing you guys about the zoom in, zoom out, and the magnify effect. Okay, so how you guys will be able to do that, we will be understanding about all of this here in this particular chapter. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So over here on my screen, as you guys can see, now this is the workspace in which I'm going to work on. And first, let's import some videos. Okay, so as you guys can see, that I do have a few of these videos right over here. And let's take this video as well. And now let's open this up. And here you guys can see that I do have all of these videos right over here. Okay, so if you take a look uh, to all of these videos here, you guys can see that I do have all these videos as well. And if you do want to see the stock materials, what are the ones trending? Okay, so you guys can use these options as well. Okay, so firstly, if you do want to download, make sure to click right over here. Okay, and you guys can basically do that. And after that, if you do want to import it, you guys can basically import it as well. So now let's first come here, and from here let me just take this particular video, let me drag this down, and if I just play this video, let me show you guys how this particular video looks like. Okay, so this is how the video looks like right over here. And the thing about what we're gonna learn is basically about the zoom in and the zoom out effect. Okay, so to zoom in and to zoom out, what I'm gonna do first here is I will just come at the starting. Okay, so let me first zoom to fit the timeline. Let's come here at this particular point, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add up a keyframe right over here, and let's come to this particular position, and let's add another keyframe as well. Okay, and also let's come to the first keyframe over here. Let me add a keyframe into the position as well. Okay, so I will just come here in the second one, and I'll just add another keyframe in the position option as well. So I'm putting it in the scale and also in the position option. Okay, so now let's come right over here. Let's add another keyframe and another keyframe right over here. And now at last, I will just add one keyframe and one keyframe right over here. So now, once I just come at this particular position, now what I'm gonna do is till the time when I come over here, I am going to scale this one, let's say to 150. And now I am going to change its position as well. Okay, so let's come here and let's try to position it over here in the center. And now if you do want to zoom in more, let's try to zoom in more. Okay, so let's come here. Let me just zoom in more. And now let's see how it actually looks. And at this particular point, if you do want to zoom out again, okay, so you guys can come here and let's say I will just add up a keyframe. And after that, after adding this keyframe, let's say I will just come over here. Let's type 100. And also here in the position, let's go with 0. And I will just go on with 0 as well. Okay, so let's see how it actually looks. So this is how you guys can actually create a zoom in and a zoom out effect. And again, now when it's going on quite well, and you can also just cut. Let's click on B from here. Let me just trim this down a bit from here. Now let's click on A to get my selection tool. And now I will just click on this right and I'll just click on delete. And over here now let's see how this transition looks. Okay, if I just play this one and now let's put up a transition in between as well that it doesn't look that great. Okay, so let's check what are the transitions that we have over here. So let's see this particular transitions. So yeah, I can just use this transition here in the center. I can choose the duration, which is zero point 0.5 seconds. That's fine. And now let's come here and let's select this one. And I'll just come to this keyframe and I won't make any changes over here. But once I'm here, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to scale this up. Okay. And I am going to change its position as well. Okay, so let me just move it right over here and let's just scale it up. Let's just move it right over here. And also, let me just come here, move this playhead. And at this particular point, again, I will just go to 100 and I will just put 0 on the x-axis and also in the y-axis. Well, that's fine. Let's see how this particular video looks. You guys can see the zoom in and the zoom out effect. You guys will see the transition. And now you guys can see the zoom in and the zoom out effect again. And if you do want to make any changes, let me just place it right over here. Let me place it here as well. Now let's see how does this actually look. Or let's come here and I want to just activate this clip again. So let's come here, let's play it up. And yeah, this is how it actually looks. And this looks quite well as well. Okay. So as you guys can see, and if you do want to stabilize the video, you guys can just turn on the stabilize mode and just you guys can go for most stable. Okay. So let's come here. And you guys can see this particular video. And yeah, this kind of looks a lot better. And the same way, just turn on stabilize and go for most stable. And here you guys can see it's processing as well. Okay. So it might take some time and we'll just wait. Well, now as this is done, now let's play it up. And here you guys can see after transition, this looks a lot more stable and it looks a lot more better. Okay. So if you want to reduce the image noise, you guys can also do that. Let me turn off over here. If you do want to apply motion blur and stuff, you guys can also do that as well. Okay. So this is how you guys can actually create a zoom in and a zoom out effect. Okay. And now I'm going to show you that how you can actually create a magnifying effect. But before that, let me just click on export and let me just type zoom in and zoom out. Okay. So zoom in and zoom out. And I do want to save it over here in my resource file. Let's select the particular folder. Let's select the resolution of the video, and I don't have any audio over here. If you do want to check copyright, you guys can check if you do have an audio. Okay, so now let's click on export, and this video has been exported right over here. So now let's cancel this one. Let's go to menu. Let's go to file, and let's click on new project. I will just click on OK right over here. And again, I do have a new workspace. Let's click on import. Let's click over here. Let's take the videos, whichever I want to take. Okay, so I will just come right over here and let's take this one as well. And I will just open these things up. Okay, so now, what I'm gonna do is I am going to actually go with the magnifying effect. So now let's come here and I will just take this one out. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to add this video over here in my timeline. Now let's click on zoom to fit over here in the timeline. And over here, once I play, what I'm gonna do is at this particular point, I do want to zoom in. Okay. So over here now to understand that in a better way, what I'm gonna do is I am going to duplicate this one. Okay. So I will just click on Control C and Control V. Okay. So I will just keep the same length and I'll just come over here on top, and after coming on top, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with mask. Okay. So let's come over here on the masking option. And from here, now I am going to mask this particular part over here at first. And I can choose that how much feather I want, or do I want some rounded rectangles. Okay, so now let's come here. Let me just place it over here. And the same way I am going to go, and let's come here. And now let's play it up. And I do want to follow the motion as well. Okay, like if you do want to follow the motion, you guys can actually follow the motion of this one as well. Okay, so now let's come back over here. Let me just move it back from here, and let's turn on tracking, and let's go with motion tracking. So let me just come here and let me just increase the space, and let's go with both, and let's start. Okay, so here now I will just wait for some time. So now once that is done, let me just play it right over here. Okay, so from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and I am going to trim it uh till this much. Okay, so I'm going to trim it right over here, and let's just trim this particular video over here as well. Okay, So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use this rectangle. Okay, so let me just place it right over here. Let's choose the space as well. Okay, so I will be choosing on the space as well. Let's decrease the rectangle from here. Okay, and once you're done, what you're gonna do is you're gonna come here and let's see how it actually looks. Okay, so when it comes right over here inside my frame, okay, I do want to highlight it. Okay, so if you do want to highlight it, what you are going to do over here is you're gonna come here first and you are going to create a keyframe. Okay, so let me just come right over here. Let me just place it right over here on top. Let me just place it over here on the back. And now let's come here and let me just make this outside layer only for this particular time a bit darker. Okay, and you can also scale it as well. Okay, so let's come here, and if you do want to scale it, okay, so you guys can just scale it and also change out the position as well. Okay, so if you do want to scale it, okay, so you guys can scale it and also you guys can position as well. Okay, so this is how you guys can work, but before that, let's go back first. Okay, so I will just come back right over here. And here now, let's see the mask. So as you guys can see, this is the mask which I have. So let me just place it properly. Okay, and I am basically going to come here, and at this particular point I am going to add up a keyframe. Okay, so let me just add a keyframe right over here, and let's go to basic, and from basic option I will add one in scale and one in position. Okay, so let's come here, and at this particular point also let's add one scale and one position. Okay, and let's see how it actually works. So I will just come here. Okay, so the same way, let's add a scale, let's add a position, and at this particular point I will just come to this one, and what I'm gonna do is I am going to scale it, and also I am going to position it right over here. Okay, so let's try to position it right over here somewhere. Okay, and now let's see how this transition actually looks. So I just want you guys to zoom at this particular point. Okay, so let's come here, and here you guys can see I am just magnifying, but over here once he passes out, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add another keyframe, and now I want to go back to normal. Okay, so let's say right from here, okay, I do want to increase the size, and then slowly when it goes out, I also want to decrease the size. Okay, so let's say I will just come right over here. Let's add a keyframe. Let's add a keyframe. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and I'm just going to go with 100%. And also over here, now I am going to go with 0 in the x-axis and also 0 in the y-axis. Let's click on enter, and the same thing. Let's come here. Let's look on the position, and this is how it will just move out. Okay, let's see from here. And yes, as you guys can see in this one, and if I just come to this one right over here, let me just scale it down to 100 as well. Okay, so now let's come here, let's just place it. So yeah, this one kind of looks good. So it's just matching it quite well. And over here, if you do want to increase the size accordingly, you guys can increase the size accordingly as well. And if you do want to make it understand in a better way, the best thing what you guys can do is just come over here and add some keyframes at this particular point. Okay. So once it increases, let's say once it starts, okay, so from this particular point, just add a keyframe over here. Okay. So you guys will have these other options over here. Like, let's go to remove PG. Let's go to mask. Let's go to this retouching option. Okay, so if you do wanna retouch, you guys can also use this retouching option as well. Okay, so let's check out different kind of animation. If you wanna go out with adjustment, you guys can actually work on with adjustment as well. Okay, so now let's click on basic, and from here let's click on blend, and from here I will just turn on the opacity. Okay, let's add one opacity right over here. Let's add one keyframe, but once I come right over here, I will just add another keyframe. Okay, so let's add one more keyframe right over here. So till here it will be fine. Okay, but after that, till from here, let's say let's add one more keyframe. Let's go to blend, and I'm going to keep opacity as 100 till here. But when I come to this particular point, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to change the opacity maybe to 70%. Well, that I can just focus on this particular area. And once it comes right here, I am going to put out a 70% as well. But after that, I am going to keep this one as 100. Okay. So I'm just going to come here and basically make it 100. So now let's play this one up. And this is how the zoom in and the zoom out effect basically work. So I can just come here maybe and basically add another keyframe. So let's come here, let's add another keyframe, but I will try to keep it around 100. So yeah, this one kind of looks a bit better. So now let's just play up the whole thing. This is the magnifying effect. As you guys can see, you are magnifying onto that particular part and it's just moving out back again. So you guys can work with all of this, okay, all these keyframes right over here. And lastly, to save it, let's click on export. And now I will just type magnifying effect. Let's click on the folder. Let's click on desktop. Let's click on the resource file. Let's click on select folder. Now I will just click on export and it will get exported accordingly. So yeah, I hope to see you all in the next chapter where we're gonna learn more about CapCut and its usage. So see you all. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone.